Hi everybody. So I said that I'd do the Eisenhorn model with my day off last weekend. Unfortunately, I came down with a cold, so I lost a bit of time to that. I couldn't see anything. And working on it today, I've just gone to the point where I'm gonna have to stop. There's very few models where it gets to the point where I want to throw them through a wall, but this is one of them. It's not finished. It wasn't too far off, but no, it's not finished. Tried to straighten out the staff, which showed in the first video. It was a bit bent. Then I worked on it in 3 pieces, so the body, the staff is a separate piece, and then the base. So about focusing. See if we can focus lock it. Okay, try that. So the base, I need to touch up the edge on it, but overall it was going okay. I'd used a couple of different greys on it, managed to get a bit of edging on it, which I was happy with. And it wasn't too bad. But the main problem with this model is it comes in sections, and my best advice is paint it in sections, because you've got his trousers, he's got some sort of undercloak, then a coat, and then an overcoat. So getting access to these is all very difficult. Not only that, as the box art shows, is each one is a different dark colour. Now normally that's not much of a problem, but the ones I sort of identified, so you've got your normal browns for the boots, so Rhinox hide, Mornfang brown, that sort of thing. Your greys there, so I'd gone for Dark Reaper, shade it down as much as I could, and then try to touch it up a bit, but that wasn't quite dark enough and it wasn't forming the right shades. Same for the gloves. Then the next coat, that was more of a dull brown, so I was going for dried bark, that sort of thing. You've then got his cuffs again, which is a different sort of brownish reddish tinge. It's a little bit hard to see on the box as the camera's sort of changing the colour slightly. That's more of a Doomball brown, like a redder brown. So you've got all these different dark colours to then try and pick out. And the same with like the holster, again that's a slightly different dark colour, and I just could not get the right transitions going through. There's artwork here, like you can see the strands of the ribbon. Well, I couldn't pick that out on the model. I went over it and try and get it to focus, and they barely stood out under a wash, and I'd need a microscope to be able to pick them out. And something that I found really frustrating was you can just see where the gold's caught it, that little spike there. That didn't show up until I'd started working on the gold, by which point I'd already worked on other aspects around it, so I couldn't drill it out. And there's a few other spikes like that I had taken off, but again it was like nowhere near the edge of the mould lines or anything like that. It was just what you get with resin. And again there was a couple of air holes which didn't show up until paint started going on, so you've got an air hole on top of the skull there. You could probably try and argue that it's just that's how the guy died, and it's just not been filled in. But I found it a bit disappointing, to be honest. And don't get me wrong, the model has got loads of detail, and they've really try to bring out the aspects of Eisenhorn, all the bits and pieces that it's picked up over the years of being an Inquisitor through the original trilogy. But I just could not paint this model. So the parts I'd left, I had to finish off the face, do the eyes, do the hair, finish highlighting the skull and the ribboning on his sword. A few other pieces here and there that I wanted to tidy up, but I'm sorry, I just can't continue painting this model. So it's just my apologies for that. It's been a real challenge piece. There's others that'll have the skills. I mean, to try and get the definition on the colour transitions on these grenades, I couldn't manage it with the space that I had to work with and the lack of definition. The lines just aren't there to sort of go up to the edge of with your brush, and going over with a wash just doesn't get them sharp enough. So again, my absolute apologies on failing to finish this one. I won't list through the paints that I've used, because I can't recommend doing it the way I've done it. As I say, if anyone does want to do this model, I would recommend painting it in each individual part, putting together as little as possible before painting it, just to get better access at painting the different layers of flowing material, getting better access to some of the details, and then just carefully supergluing the whole lot together. So hopefully I'll get something knocked up in the next week that I can do a video for you. So I'll catch you next time.